I have over here Supriya Srinath, the Congress's strike rate.
Rahul, can I please
in the
comment?
Uttar Pradesh,
Rahul.
yes, I'm coming to you, Supriya. In the Uttar Pradesh election in 2017, you fought 114 seats, 1-7, your strike rate was 6.14. In Tamil Nadu, you fought 41, you won 8, your strike rate was 19.51. In Bihar, you fought 70, 119, your strike rate was 27.14. Maharashtra fought 147, 144, strike rate of 29%. It goes on. When Rahul Gandhi says he contested the number of seats that the party asked him to, Gaurav Bhatia punches back real hard and says the Prime Minister, Amit Shah, Jai Prakash Nadda, they're already talking about what they will do in West Bengal. Who in the Congress is applying his mind about whether we can wrest the West Bengal politics from the Trinamool? Do you even believe you have an option? You last time won 44 seats out of the 92 you contested with a strike rate of 47.83 in West Bengal. The reality is this time it's between the TMC and the BJP. In the last 5 years you've been knocked out of the pie completely and you have no clue and you're not thinking, you're not doing anything about it either.
No, that's not true at all. In fact, the leader of the Congress in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, has been appointed the West Bengal PCC chief. So you can't say we're not doing anything about it at all. You will get to know the organizational changes and the efforts that are going into that election. I'm glad you mentioned the BJP is already concentrating on West Bengal, because West Bengal for the BJP is a political project. They do not care about Bengal. They do not care about the history, the culture, their Asmita, as it is said. They go and break the statues of Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. They garland somebody else but not Birsa Munda. So I'm not going to get into that. But there is so much being made about Bihar. Please understand one thing. The difference of votes eventually in the final tally between the Mahagathbandhan and the NDA was only 12,000 votes. So let's not overemphasize an electoral. I was the first one to come and say on television channels, yes, they've won. Good luck to them. There were 10 seats that were difficult seats. There were 10 seats that, you know, one doesn't believe there was fairness at the local administration level. But that said, they formed the government. Good luck to them running a successful government. We'll see what happens in the future and how the BJP is going to turn the equation, Mr. Nitish Kumar. But let us, no, it's not wow, but let us not denounce one man, let us not denounce one thing. And I will still stick my gun and say the Congress is the only party and Mr. Rahul Gandhi is the only person raising these issues. And for all those within the Congress who today want to raise questions, it's a democratic party, it's a party that was born out of a freedom struggle. I will urge each one of them to go and strengthen the party, to talk about organizational strengthening of the party. Let us focus our energies on strengthening the cadres, on doing party work. Because this quivering in the media is not going to help. It gives you one reason to do a show instead of doing a show on the economic slowdown and joblessness. That's all that I will say.
No, but Rashid Kidwai, the reality is till the time Mr. Gandhi doesn't make up his mind about whether he's in or out in the race to be the next president, if he'll fight the election or he won't, there is no clarity. Because unless he announces publicly, will he fight, will he not fight, the others can't decide whether anybody else wants to jump in or not. So he's made this grand proclamation that nobody from the Gandhi family wants to be president, but he's not acted on it. And this sense of drift continues with no sense of urgency to try and fix it.
I think, Rahul, this is a fair criticism. See, the political leadership of Congress is with the Gandhi family, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, and they must own it up. So there is no excuse for that. I mean, there is a post of Congress president, it's been announced, the election schedule is there. Rahul must declare himself as a candidate and encourage someone to, you know, challenge him and contest against him.
He doesn't want the job. You're saying he must declare himself as candidate, Rashid Bhai. Rahul Gandhi doesn't want the job, he said so publicly.
Then he must, you know, set a process in motion that someone else becomes Congress president, proxy or otherwise. See, there has to be clarity. As I said, you know, vote, you know, to get votes, to fetch votes, Gandhis are required for Congress party. Gandhis may be losing. I think in Bihar it is a bit unfair to blame Rahul, because Rahul was not architect of alliance. It was the inexperience of Tejasvi Yadav that actually played, you know, proved costly. It was not Rahul
but it's
who
not just about Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Kidwai. It's also about how hard the Congress fought the election. Look at what local leaders like Tariq Anwar are saying, that the local leadership was ignored. You paragraph people. The fact is, the BJP fought with a sense of urgency, with a sense of karo ya maro. Congress fought with a sense of chalta hai, aayi to aayi, nahi aayi to nahi aayi.
Absolutely. No, Congress has been out of power in Bihar since 1989. You see, there is a group of 23 dissenters. What prevented them from going and campaigning in Bihar? Did Congress stop any one of them? Rahul should have made more effort. There is no denying of the fact. But you see, it was not Congress show. It was a RJD show, and RJD failed and faltered in stitching up alliances. Congress was, and Rahul was not in picture.